T.B.Photo X1.5 TFX, and welcome back to another video. Well, this is a little bit of an impromptu video because last night, last night was Wednesday, and I had just watched Nico's photography show. A picture up here about it. Really recommend it every Wednesday at 2100 hours. At least for me here in Sweden, and I think actually Spain and Sweden has basically the same time zone. But anyway, after watching that, I was up a little bit more, and then I went to bed, but woke up at about 12 o'clock because I needed the bathroom. But anyway, when going to the bathroom, I just happened to glance out through the kitchen, through the windows that are to the left of me in a frame, actually, along that wall. I actually did a double take because did I see correctly? And I did actually, because outside the window in the yard we have an apple tree with a bunch of bird feeders on it, and what do I behold below it? Well, it was a deer in the dark. So basically it's January now, Sweden and so on, and we're fairly north on the globe, so that means that we have very dark nights. So it was pitch dark outside. Luckily we have some road lamps and so on, and actually some lamps in the tree itself. So it was fairly decently lit, all things considered. But anyway, I needed to go and get the camera, so I just did a 180. The bathroom break had to wait, so just into my room, grabbing the D7200. That was a no-brainer. I needed a camera that I both could film with, and that I needed to have a high ISO for this. And bear in mind, I did some filming with the D7200 with this, and a couple of things actually started to go through my brain, like, what do I need for this? Well, I grabbed the camera, and I started to think, actually, and this is a little bit of the thought process of what lens should I grab from the lineup. Well, my first thought was, and keep in mind this is under stress because that wild thing out there would probably not be able to, that can move away at any second. So time was of the essence, quite frankly. So first selection, what I could have used was the Tokina ATX, 28 to 70 f constant f2.8. And I thought, well, the benefits of this is that it's very light sensitive, it's an f2.8. I can use that in order to bring down the ISO and thereby get less noise in the video, even though it will be a lot of noise. But it's too wide angle. I want to, be able to get closer into onto the subject, the deer in this case. And I'm probably gonna have some B-roll of that up here. Second choice, the kit lens, so basically the Nikon DXVR AFS Nikkor 18 to 440 millimeter 3.5 to 5.6 G ED. Basically, yeah, it's the kit lens, so it's one of these, extending zoom lenses. Yeah, the Tokina does that as well. But the added benefit of this was vibration reduction. But I thought maybe no, I need maybe something with a little bit more reach. So what about this then? It's the 75 to 300 Nikkor, AF Nikkor, the 4.5 to 5.6. I mean, with this I can really zoom in, and keep in mind that the D7200 is a crop sensor camera, so I might be able to get away with using it. But then I came to my senses and I thought that no, actually this one, first of all, these two are variable apertures, and that means that it will change because I film in full manual mode, and no, these are out the window because they're not good enough for it. They actually change the amount of light. So I reached into the back of the entire closet, or whatever we want to call it, and I brought this one, and I think this was the best lens for the job at the time, and it turned out to be that. So yeah, I didn't need this one, but anyway, the Nikon ED AF Nikkor 80 to 200 2.8D lens. So this is what I sprung for. So the entire sequence with the deer was filmed with this, the Nikon D7200 at actually a whopping 10,000 ISO, and I used this lens on 2.8. So I have a constant 2.8, and I have from 80mm to 200mm, and you have to multiply it with 1.5, which is the crop factor of the D7200. But anyway, this was a little bit of the thought process on how I actually went, you know, before I settled for this one in order to do the actual filming. But anyway, in the beginning I actually started trying to use autofocus on the D7200, but I quickly realized that no, that will not float at all, because it basically hunted, and you know, it hunted focus back and forth because of the low light situation. So I did the snap decision to put it over to manual focus. And if you keyboard warriors out there start to say, you know, like you didn't use vibration reduction and it's bad camera work, oh, so what? I was standing basically in my boxers by the window at 12 o'clock at night, half asleep with the camera, trying to film a deer out in the garden. So give me a break, will you? This was basically just a little bit of an exercise on, you know, snap decision. I need to document this, and I need to do it right now. So this was just, you know, snap decisions, and I went for the 80 to 200 because of the low element count, the constant 2.8 aperture, and it's an all-around brilliant lens to put on the D7200, or a full frame for that matter. I use that lens a lot with my f4, for instance. The only other piece of gear that I thought I might have been able to grab, but I decided against it because time was of the essence, and that would be it, that I would have gone for the Manfrotto monopod that I've modified with this little ball head with the quick detach plate on it. But I decided against it because I needed to mount the quick detach plate to either the camera or the lens in question, and in this case it would have been the lens, because the lens is quite heavy and have the potential to maybe warp the bayonet mount on the camera, potentially. But anyway, that's basically it, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed a little bit of the footage for this, because this was a totally impromptu video, but still it was kind of a little bit of a neat experience to have a deer, a wild deer, at such close range. But anyway, this is Tobias Bergstrom from T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX. I'd like to see you guys in the next video. And as you're supposed to say in this YouTube malarkey, please like, share, and comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care from now on. Bye.